Good afternoon, dear colleagues. I am Kristina Oрлова. I work in the Blokhin Center in Moscow. I'm a clinicist, and part of my work is devoted to trials. And I study the medical records and databases. We understand today that observational trials are very important. But I won't dwell on this necessity. You know very well, understand it very well. But understanding that real-world data trials are important. You know, it is a trial. It is not just investigation of medical record. The trial will allow us to get quick results. We understand that during these trials, some systemic errors can be made that would affect the correctness of the results. So one of the trials that we made, ADMIRE, where we assess efficacy and tolerability of the target therapy, anti-BRAF therapy in patients with metastatic melanoma. And one of our goals was to define the accessibility and quality of the target therapy in the Russian Federation. And there was no statistical hypothesis. We just wanted to see how patients in the Russian Federation are being treated with metastatic melanoma are treated. So the trial followed all the rules of the clinical trial in the Russian Federation. It was registered at the site, clinical trial RF.ru. So we had 382 patients. This is our publication. Most of the trials that are made today are not published, and I urge the clinicists, if you have negative results, it is also a result, and it is necessary to publish it so that people who would plan further trials would see that some things have already been done and shouldn't be repeated. What have we received? One part of the work was devoted to surgical therapy because we assessed general approaches to therapy. So there were 107 patients who went through surgical treatment. They went through metastasectomy. And their median survival was higher compared with the group without surgical treatment. So the results are quite significant, but probably they were influenced by the fact that those patients who went through surgical treatment had a better prognosis from the very beginning. That's why such questions may arise in respect of this retrospective data. Therefore, I would like to focus on the following. When you plan databases, you should understand that this is not just a base, it is a trial. And that's why you should formulate the goals and objectives of the trial. What do we actually want to get? No, we can't get everything. And a very important aspect is the development, is the consultations with biostatistics, because we have to develop some hypothesis for the trial to understand what we want to get. Then we have to develop an individual registration card in accordance with the goals and objectives of the trial. And the card is to be fulfilled strictly in accordance with the goals and objectives. We need to receive an approval of the Committee of Ethics and registrate the trial on the clinical trials gov. That will simplify the publication of results. So the doctors are supposed to write down, to make notes in the medical records so that they could be included into this slide. That is all I wanted to say within my time. And now it is with great pleasure that I give the floor to Professor Plavinsky.